So here I'm going to show you how to change some of the aesthetics, that is, the appearance of your Google form. This is assuming you have already entered in your questions. So what I want to do is I want to be at the top of my page and I want to select Change Theme. And you'll see that mine is already complete. Yours is going to look a little bit different, but you will see the live form on the left hand side, and on the right hand side you'll see a bunch of options. Yours will start like this, and I'm going to start here on the title. Now you can see there's a bunch of options here. One is the font, and I've chosen permanent marker, but I could change that, and you'll see the change reflected in the left hand side. But I did choose permanent marker for a reason, so I'm going to leave it at that. I can also change the text size right here, and just to show you a change, I'll choose small, and I don't like how that looks for my title, so I'm going to bring it back to extra large. I can also change my font color here, so if I wanted to change that to white, I could, or any of these other colors. Make sure that your text is visible above the whatever background color you choose, which we'll get to in just a moment. So there's the title. You can do something very similar for the description. I won't do much here, but you can customize all of this. So you can see the description is right here. Except I'd rather not have that as big as my title, so I'm going to bring that back to medium sized. As you can see, this is right on the border of being appropriately visible. In fact, I may just darken that up a little bit, make that a little easier for the reader, or in this case, your customer who will be taking this survey. So customize that description. At any point in this tutorial, feel free to pause, come back. You can do the same thing for your questions. You can see I've chosen the Playfair display font. For my text size, I chose large. I want to make this easily visible on any device because this could be taken on a mobile device as well. I thought extra large was a little bit too big. I chose a text color that was visible above the green background, which in a minute, again, I'm going to show you how to change that background. So there's the question option. The help text is right here, so I changed that to just another hand font, and I chose extra large just because this particular font displayed quite a bit smaller than others. So you can see, even though my question is in large size and my help text is in extra large, this is still smaller just because of the font that I chose. So do what's appropriate for yours. Again, color can happen right here as well. Then there's this box of options, and your options are down here. Whatever your multiple choice or scale questions will look like, and mine is in Roboto text, but you can see I could change that and it would then reflect over here as well. I'm just going to leave mine in this font for right now, just for ease. But feel free to change that. I'll make that larger if it's appropriate. And then we get into a few options down here. Form background is one, and you can see I've chosen this green background. So at this point you can choose what would be appropriate for the text, but I think I would choose something that's appealing and then change the font color if you need to. So take a minute to explore some of those background colors, and then pause and come back to this tutorial in a moment. Then not only can you choose the font background, but you can change the page background as well. That would refer to what's outside of the form. I did not play around with that much, but you can certainly play around with that if you'd like. One other important step is to change the header image. You can see on mine I have a custom header, and I've also asked you to create a custom header. And you would go here and you would change the image, but first we need to create or save an image to put into your form. So you may need to go through these steps where you go back and you either create a drawing that fits. So here's the drawing that I created to go into my form. And a reminder of how we did this for your website banner. On File to Page Setup, I chose Custom right here. And then I changed the width to 15 by 1.25. That fits really nicely up into the banner. And I clicked OK. It was after I had inserted my image and played around with the text. So I put this in a text box. Again, I'm not going to go through all these directions because you've already done that. But then I did have to go to File, to Download As, and I chose a ping image. Once I'm finished creating my header, you can just use a banner that you've already created as well. And then if I go back to my form that I've been editing, I'm going to click on Change Image, and I'm going to make sure that Fit to Width is selected. And I'm going to go ahead and find that image. So I'd have to go down here to Upload, and then I'm going to choose an image to upload. And you can see, I'm going to go find my peer review banner. My downloads folder is recently emptied, so this is the only thing that shows up. And this is what I put in to my form for the banner. And then I would click Open. I'm not going to do it again because mine's already there. And it would appear right up here. And because my background was still transparent, then I was able to just have it take that on the same color as the rest of my form. And then you have your custom header as well. A final step of a Google form is to make sure it's placed or posted or shared in a place where it's very accessible and people can take it. So I'm going to show you how to embed your Google form onto a Google site. So I am going to navigate over to my Google form, my Google site, and notice I'm on my Unit 2 page of my company portfolio, and I'm going to go into edit mode, and I'm going to have this display right at the top of the page. Again, you want to have this in a visible, accessible place, and I'm going to put it where someone doesn't even need to scroll to find it. Then I'm going to choose Insert, and I'm going to navigate over to the Drive option because Google Forms are saved on Google Drive, and I'm going to click on Form. And what it's going to do is it's going to open up all of the forms that I've created. So there's a few there. And luckily, my company portfolio form is right here. And so I'm going to click that. I could double click that, or I could click once and press Select. And I've taken a look at this. It looks a little bit nicer if it's a bit wider than 400. I don't mind the height being 600, but I want my items on my website to be somewhat uniform. And I think we've chosen 500, and so you can see just in this view that they match up. It'll look a little nicer and neater. Again, you can always change that by clicking on your property wheel here, and you can change some of those options if you'd like. So the last step is to click on Save and see how that appears. And it looks like it worked just fine. In fact, you can see someone could go to my site and take this form right from the website. They wouldn't even need to click anywhere else, which is a pretty handy tool, that they could take it right on your website, and all of those results would go right into the spreadsheet that automatically gets created when a Google form starts to get taken. So please ask any questions if you have them, but there is how you would complete this Google Forms assignment.